Hello, everybody.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you guys
Hi.
doing?
Doing all right.
So I don't know if we have any pending project transfers at the moment. I wanted to look at the TSC project proposal.
In theory, we still have the Hiero Enterprise Java, where
Oh,
we
yeah.
Andrew and Roger. I know that the GitHub runners have been created. What I don't know, maybe Andrew can say, if something else need to be done or if we would be able to do the transfer.
Let me confirm that the enterprise Java runners exist.
Hiero Enterprise Java, yeah, here it is. It's still blank.
Yeah, and we have created already the users and everything. So last time it was that the GitHub runners missed. I created an issue for that and it's solved. That's what I know. But that was in December, you know. So
Mhm.
I don't know if anything else need to be done or if we would be able to do the transfer.
Is it coming from Hashgraph or is it coming from another
From
location?
another.
Okay. Yeah, then somebody else needs to be on and able to move it over into the hiero-ledger organization. And there should be that checklist that kind of walks you through all the different pieces of what is required um, in the transfer process.
Yeah, so I have full access, full admin rights on the repo.
Great. Then you should be able to follow that checklist for transferring the repo over. I think you're good to go.
Is it is it something that we can do in this meeting? So in case he has any questions?
Yeah, I assume the checklist contains things like step security and other stuff, right? So I would have no idea how to do that.
Is
Me
it
neither, but I would
required?
like to learn.
Okay. Is it required that we are coming that we're utilizing step security inside of the hiero-ledger organization? Or is that only for Hashgraph specific repos?
I assume depending on who you ask, it's active, for example, for the Python SDK, and people told me that it's a must that it's active for every repo, like the sneak
Yes.
thing and other things.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
last thing
that
we
is,
agreed when we decided to just do
yeah,
one org.
we had last year, maybe end of November, we had a meeting. I don't know. Maybe Andrew, you have not been part of that meeting. Nathan was for sure, Jessica was. And we talked about those things, and we talked about that we need a public documentation of exactly that, because without that, as Jessica said, right, in general, it is not your task, Andrew, to do this migration now. But if Jessica cannot do it, we have a problem, you know? And this is that we need to solve somehow.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah,
And as said,
but
I'm totally fine to move the transfer to near future, but we somehow need to move forward here.
so we do we have enough time to do it right now? Like that, maybe that's a good exercise since also this meeting is recorded. So, um,
I would be fine. I have that hour. I would be fine to give Jessica full admin access to the repo. Um, so my point is, I don't know if we can do it. I'm happy to do whatever I can, but I'm not deep enough into the configuration, DevOps,
I'm
security topic that I can really say is it possible or not.
I'm in the same boat. I don't know if I have the right permissions for configuring the step security, sneak, and everything that needs to be done in security.
Okay. Hendra, can you send me a link to the repository that we're transferring? I need
Sure,
to see
I will
how.
send it here directly in Zoom.
Okay. Um, yeah. So let's see. There's going to be a little bit of work that needs to get done here. Um,
You want to share your screen to see where your
yeah, I
eyes
can.
are at?
Yeah, I can. Okay.
Thank you.
So what I'm looking at here, so first of all, let me do this. Let me go hiero-ledger. Okay. So what we're first going to look at here is in hiero-ledger organization, right? We have our hiero transfer document, and this is just in the hiero repository. So this is basically what I go through when we go to make a transfer happen. So pre-transfer checks, these are all things that need to be done ahead of time. So
This
we
is
need to get through all these pre-transfer checks. And then we also need to go through all the day before checks before we are ever ready to move a repository over. So starting at the top, I think we have the target repository name. It's Hiero Enterprise Java. Do we have maintainer groups created for
yes,
this?
yep.
Okay. So we already have that in. Um, point of contact for questions. So do we have a point of contact for the Hiero Enterprise repository?
You can take me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, have we communicated the change that this is being transferred
To who? Because
to anybody who is currently using the Hiero Enterprise Java? Anybody who's currently using this repository?
yeah, the people are waiting for the transfer. So yeah,
Okay, fantastic.
I think we're fine on that.
Okay. Uh, is this repository publishing artifacts?
Yes.
Okay. Which of these does it publish to?
Maven Central.
Okay. So that means that we need to set up um, set up new tokens for Maven Central, and then get that configured so that folks are aware. Um, well, I guess not so that other people are aware that it's publishing there, but basically make sure that when we move, we're able to continue to target that location from the hiero-ledger organization instead of the Open Elements organization.
Yeah, we discussed that I don't know in November, Andrew. So the point is that so far it published by a classic token, and we agreed that we don't want to do that once it moved to hiero-ledger. So we said what can be done is the maintainers who have the token can manually still publish under the old namespace to Maven Central. And once it transferred and is part of hiero-ledger, we will refactor it to publish to org.hiero by using the official Hiero token. But
All right.
that is not a problem because it can still be published even if the repo is under hiero-ledger under the old namespace, and it will be changed once it's transferred.
Okay. So that covers that. And then we'll need to, if you go into settings, and then secrets and variables, you'll need to make sure to capture the variables and the secrets prior to transferring it out, especially if it uses any repository variables, because those will be lost on the transfer.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I have them.
Okay.
So I already tried. I can do everything on my machine locally, release and stuff like that. So and that will be recreated then with the Hiero token. So that is not a problem.
Okay. So then we need our day before checks. So have you done the DCO audit?
Uh, you can ask questions. So the point is we want to move that since half a year. I maybe I did it some time ago, maybe not. I do not know anymore, to be fair.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Okay, so that needs to happen because we need to make sure that we're good to go and everything's signed off before we move it over. Um, License audit, and then I think we have all of this covered from above, so that's great.
yeah.
And developer experience, folks are aware that it's being moved. So I think as long as you do the DCO audit, we should be good there.
Can you wait before you scroll down?
Yeah,
So let's assume somebody total external comes with a repo we would like to migrate to Hiero. Um, how should that person do the DCO audit?
it's a great question. I don't know.
Okay, then we should create for us a to-do that we provide some help here. Um, to do this DCO audit check because I did it for some repos when we migrated from Hashgraph to Hiero, but that is like 2 years ago and things like that. So that is something we should be able, and I think Jessica, that is especially for you, where we should be able to help people who would like to onboard a project to do a DCO check.
Yeah, I found something. I found something that we can use, a tool that we can use. So I I've just started going through it, but I
Yeah.
wonder if this is something we can use. Um, many open source projects require the use of sign now. So this is a certified that the contributor. Okay. Um, I think this might.
I think Nathan had a script
Okay.
because
Okay. I
so
can ask
my
Nathan.
my if I remember it correctly, it was like that. I tried some tools and they came up with different results because DCO sounds super easy, but can be very complex, especially if you have oh, Andrew is sharing something.
So what I just sent you, I just sent it internal on Hashgraph
Yeah,
because I'm not sure if this can be shared wider. But Hendrik, I just sent you the basically our DCO sign off process for Hashgraph internal. So if you'll take a look at that and work with Jessica to come up with a process and document it somewhere, I think that that's a great idea because I agree. I think we're going to run into this going forward as well for
yeah,
other repos coming into Hyro.
Okay. I posted a message for Nathan just in case he has something that can be something similar that can be published.
yeah. He
Okay.
had good because we figured out different scripts created different results, and Nathan created something, and then we took that one as a base. That is what I remember, but you know, it's so long ago. Um, Yeah, so that is something we should do. Let's just go through the list and check if we find other points like that.
Okay. So the next piece. So does anybody have any questions on the day before checks?
We skipped over all the pre-transfer checks, but that is what we had above. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
They're all above.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So now we're into transfer day. So once we do the DCO check, I think we're good to start on this. Um, you're going to need to open a new ticket in the governance repo inside of Hyro. And this is where we modify the config file, we add the maintainer group, the committer group, and we set all the permissions.
Has all been done already.
Okay, great. Have we deleted the empty repo created by CLO Warden?
No, it's still there.
Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much at this step.
Okay.
Um,
I can remove it right now, but I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know
we
if it
probably
will
should be
get,
closer.
yeah, I would wait until we get the DCO sign off confirmed.
Okay.
Um, so you're going to delete the empty repo. Then you're going to go over to the Open Elements repo, and with your admin privileges, you're going to make the transfer. Um, yep. So you're going to make the transfer. Then once you make the transfer, there are several items that need to be updated in the repository. So the first item is going to relate to GitHub self-hosted runners. So this is what I was looking at before. So if you go into the workflow files, we do not run on, yeah, here we go. So we do not run on Ubuntu latest. Instead, what we run on is whatever the whatever appropriate runners are available. So let me pull that up and show you what I mean. These are our self-hosted runners that we create. Actions, runner groups. Okay. So Hiero Enterprise Java, these are our self-hosted runners that we use. And those are going to be under Hiero Enterprise Java Linux Medium. So rather than this being Ubuntu latest or Mac OS or Swift, um, anywhere you see Ubuntu latest needs to basically be replaced with Hiero Enterprise Java Linux Medium.
I have a question. What happens if, let's take, so this one is transferred, or we have the Hiero CLI, or we have things like the Python SDK. If somebody creates a new workflow that says run on Ubuntu latest,
Yeah. What do you mean?
yeah, what happens then? Is it directly failing, or um,
We only allow um, workflows. So there are many security things that we have in place to make sure that people are unable to use malicious workflows. Um, First of all, in order for anybody to run a workflow, they have to actually be a committer or maintainer of the repository. So we make sure that folks are unable to run workflows from forks of repos. Um, but if somebody created a new workflow and used Ubuntu latest, that's something that we're going to look for right away before that ever gets merged to the main line.
okay,
Because,
that was my question. Yeah,
yeah,
because I'm a maintainer and I was not aware of that. And my question was, how do we restrict it for a living project? But we have checks that check that if I create a new foo.yaml workflow and say one on Ubuntu latest and create that pull request, so that one will automatically be blocked.
yeah, I don't think we have any checks in there, but as part of the peer review process, whenever folks are looking to add a workflow, that's something that needs to get checked and make sure that they're running not on Ubuntu latest, that instead you're running on the self-hosted runners.
But so let's assume I create the, I don't know, PHP SDK. I'm not related to Hashgraph or whatever, right? I create the Hiero PHP SDK, me and a friend, and it got onboarded to Hiero. And so you're totally out of game because it's not related to Hashgraph or whatever, and it lives in Hiero. And somebody of us create that file, um, and the other one reviews it, or we are three people, and the other two reviews it and merges it. Um, so how will you check that?
Yeah, I mean, then in that case, it's going to run on Ubuntu latest, and that's
Okay,
just kind of the way it is, unfortunately.
okay. But
Sorry, I'm
is
looking
that
for one.
yeah? I mean, for sure we can add checks in code owners and stuff like that. And I oh yeah, that is, for example, not in our control, right?
Yeah, that's what I was
That
looking
is not
for.
in Hashgraph control, let's say it like that.
Yeah, it looks like it runs Ubuntu latest. So if it's
Yeah.
not coming from Hashgraph, Ubuntu latest is fine.
Okay, but why? And I'm just trying to understand it. Why do we then need for like the Hiero Enterprise Java custom runners at all?
Best practices.
But okay, yeah, understood. But the runners are and the hardware behind it is paid by Hashgraph, right? So
Yeah.
if somebody now creates a big project under Hiero and runs, I don't know, a lot of long running tests and use that, it would be paid first of all by Hashgraph. It means it needs resources by Hashgraph. So I'm just asking myself, mm, if we really want to do that by default for non-Hashgraph repositories.
Yeah, I mean, probably not if it's completely unrelated to Hashgraph. Um, because you're right, somebody could try and transfer in something and then run up a huge bill against Hashgraph.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, generally, if it's something completely unrelated to Hashgraph, I think we don't create those self-hosted runners, and they just continue to run on Ubuntu latest, and that's that.
Okay. We should double check that with security because that is exactly where I had different opinions. I'm with you, absolutely. But I already heard different opinions, so maybe we should check that you and I, Andrew, internally. Um, okay, I just note it down so that we can do that afterwards.
Yep.
I think it makes sense to double check that.
All right. So I think that covers. So again, this document is for Hashgraph specific transfers. So, we will always have the self-hosted runner label. Um,
Yeah, but does that mean? And yeah, I mean it's called Hashgraph transfer. It even shows like, hey, ping DevRel about it because
yeah.
we created that. Sure, it makes sense. We created that document when we transferred all the Hashgraph repos to Hiero. So the question is, would it make still sense to have that one here, or should we copy it and have a general transfer one where we can remove some things, or we name that one and define some of those steps as optional, which is then only for Hashgraph?
I'm fine either way. But I would like to, since I'm doing the Hashgraph transfers, I would like to have a document that is, Hashgraph
Sure,
specific.
sure,
If
I
if
can.
you
Yeah,
put in, optional Hashgraph only steps into a wider transfer document, that's fine. But this is the document that we built up over, 35 repo transfers.
yeah, and I think it's good, and I what I think is just copying it, then you will have two documents that run in different directions. So maybe we rename that from Hashgraph transfer to project transfer and do some steps like annotate them as optional Hashgraph internal, whatever. Jessica, what do you think about that?
I think it makes sense. And the other question, so I feel a little bit concerned that we have guidelines in this repo and some other guidelines in governance. So we should look
Yeah,
forward on
that's yeah.
consolidating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is, we started in that repo. It would make sense to move that one to guidelines too then. Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe that is something we can do in the next project transfer meeting. So I will try to, or we will try to, Jessica already pinged Nathan to do the DCO check for the repo up to next week, or up to the next meeting. I don't know if it's a weekly or bi-weekly to be fair. And
It's biweekly, but if you need, I
bi-weekly,
can
yeah,
put
yeah.
it.
No, I mean, we can up to in 2 weeks. In best case, we have DCO done, but we still don't need to transfer that repo if we do it in 2 weeks or 4 weeks. I don't care.
We
But
might
maybe
be doing
then,
in person too.
excuse me?
We might be doing in person too,
We
if
could do
needed.
it in person, yeah. But for that we should have. Oh yeah, I mean Andrew is there too, right? So
Yeah,
maybe we find some time in New York to go over this document and mutate it to put this hashgraph internal whatever labels into it. Yeah, yeah. That totally makes sense. I
that would
like
be
that.
perfect. Yeah.
Okay. The one
Okay.
thing I would say is I would not name it project transfer. I would name it repo transfer because a
Yes.
project
Yeah.
is like a project board and people
Yeah.
get confused about transferring project boards versus repositories.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. So yeah, so if appropriate, update the self-hosted runner labels. Um, you'll need to add the repo to the global rule sets. So make sure that all of your rules are set correctly. You need to set the social preview on the repo. We said the Maven Central token will get updated at a later time.
Yeah.
So you need to update all the secrets and variables. Is there a code owners in here? Let's see. So
Oh,
there's no
there
code
are
owners
those
file in
two.
here. So you probably need to add that code owners file for
Yeah.
reviews. Let's see. Code owners. One other major concern that I have, and this is what I looked at initially, was under all of these security items. So these are uses actions checkout, V6, for example. This is a very, very common thing we see. Actually, let's use this as an example instead. Set up Java V5, right? Which is great. It's using the latest of whatever tag gets published. In the setup Java action, it's going to use the latest of version 5. This is also quite insecure because if somebody gets a hold of the setup Java and publishes a new, a 5.2 and it's a malicious package, it will automatically be consumed because this by default is just looking for the latest 5.x package. So that's a security risk. So what we do instead is I would propose going through and opening a PR to change all of these from actions checkout v6 to be actions checkout at the commit hash for
Like if
v6.
if you scroll down, you mean like you see in line
Yeah,
38. Yeah, okay.
exactly.
So,
Just like this.
so
Exactly.
how do I get that? Happy to do that.
So
So is
here's
it
what you're
is
going
it
to do.
really just the git hash of the tag?
Yeah, so let me show you. So github.com/action/checkout. All right. So we're looking at, all right, let me grab this. So here you go. So actions checkout, we're looking for 6.0.0, right? You
Yeah,
you come over here and you click on tags, and then you go to 600, and here's the
and
commit
then you
hash.
just copy the. Oh, okay.
And you literally hit copy full SHA, or you can also copy it right here from your toolbar. But it's exactly this hash. That's all it is. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I think that's the last piece. Code owners, make sure the workflow files are up to date and good to go. Um, yeah, make sure your teams are set correctly. Token's going to get updated later. Social preview. Do you know how to set the social preview?
Nope.
Okay. So,
Oh, is that like oh yeah.
you're
I,
going to
I
download
know how
this
to set it up.
picture.
Yeah. In the settings. I know.
Okay. Yep. It's in the settings. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that covers everything. Do
Okay. Okay.
you have any
What
questions
is
about
what
anything
I
else?
mean, where's the list of at the moment, for example, the repo has no branch protection stuff and things like that.
Okay.
Where
So
is
that's going to,
where is that listed?
yeah. So let me show you. So you're going to go to settings and then you're going to go to rules, rule set. This will show you all of the organization rule sets. So these are all the
Ah,
rule
we have it
sets.
on org level. Okay, great.
We
Yeah,
we
I was
have we have
yeah.
some on the org level, yes.
Okay. Okay.
But then there are also additional ones that can be configured at the repo level as well. So, like for example, if you look at consensus node, we probably have close to 15 rules on it.
Hmm. Is it a can or a must?
It is a can because this will cover force push to main, require status checks. So that's your DCO sign off, require that a PR is used, require reviews from code owners. This will protect against specific tags being created and pushed. Um, yeah. So at a minimum, you're good with the organizational rules. If you need
Okay.
additional rules, reach out, like status checks on PRs and things.
But how are things like step security comes into play?
What about step security?
So I mean, for other repos, when I create a PR, there are automatic step security checks happening.
Yes.
How is that
That happens.
configured?
That happens at the org level.
Ah,
So
that
you
is
don't
somewhere at the org level here too.
correct. There's yeah. So actually one of the key things that you'll need to include everywhere that is free, and this is something that's missing from that transfer document, um, is if we look at let me pull up consensus node. See. So if we look at this, the first step on anything is going to be 60 create GitHub release. Let's see. Of course, I pick one that is just a workflow call. Okay. The first step in any workflow is always going to be this harden runner step. So this is what pulls in step security. Um, this needs to be on every single workflow, on every single job. This is how we secure and lock down our runners. Um, yeah, this is an important step, and this is how step security gets involved on every workflow that we run.
And now I'm again confused, and I think that is where we need to get a better all of us to get a better understanding, because if I understood it correctly, step security is only working on self-hosted runners, right? And if we, for example, now go to Hiero-Ethereum, I assume we will not see those step security checks, right?
Nope, it's included. So hardened runner is auditing inbound and outbound calls on the runner. It works on Ubuntu latest. It works on our self-hosted runners. It does not matter. It will work on them. So this should always be the first step for any workflow.
Ah, okay, because there was some maybe I'm confused here. Uh, there was a discussion about something is only working on self-hosted runners, and that's why always self-hosted runners should be used. And in my head, it was in my mind, it was step security, which is why we always need those self-hosted runners. Okay, but that is working on every, I mean, even on Ubuntu latest. And should be always the first step, but can be done after the project transition as an additional pull request.
Yeah,
Correct?
so this is definitely one of the things that we need to make sure is in place with us being in one organization. This provides quite a bit of protection and making sure that that inbound and outbound calls are audited accurately.
Yeah, understood. But again, just to check if the definitions are really all correct. If I again create this PHP SDK with two friends, and it's migrated, and then 1 month later we create a new workflow, and we have no idea about that, right? I'm not talking about something harmful. We just have no idea about it, and we create a new workflow and do not put that into place. Are there any checks that says, oh, here the hard runner is missing? Oh, here there is no checksum for a GitHub Action step plugin? Do we have anything like that? Or is that all best practices that we need to teach, but cannot automatically check on the org level for all repos under hiero-ledger?
We have automated checks running by Step Security in the background that will automatically open a pull request that adds hardened runner to any workflows that are missing it. Um, and we may, don't hold me to this,
Hmm?
we may have Step Security also running in the background that will do these hashes for you.
Oh, nice. Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not sure about that second one, so don't hold me to that. But the first one, I know Step Security will run in the background and automatically open PRs that add this hardened runner step to workflows inside the organization.
yeah, that's nice. And I think that is, as said, we had this meeting with Nathan. I think that is what really need to be documented somewhere in the org, right? Because the Python SDK had questions like that, and we're like, oh, why is that happening? Why is now this step security job failing? And it's not your job to take care about the Python SDK. I mean, happy if you help, but it's not an Hashgraph repo. So that is exactly where I think we need to create more public documentation. Yeah. But that makes sense. And I like that this is happen automatically because that allows us to say, hey, that is our, like minimal security features, and we have automatic checks, whatever in place, apps that take care of it and create pull requests if you fail on it. I like that a lot. That's cool. Yeah. I mean, we can check exactly that with the Hiero Enterprise Java because both the harden runners step and the hashes are missing, right? And we can, when we transfer it, check what happens. What kind of PRs are created. And maybe then we even know better what is still missing from an automatic point of perspective. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, okay. I learned a lot in this meeting.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it and put it somewhere for our reference.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing that this is recorded because I also learned quite a lot.
Yeah. That is very good that this meeting is recorded. I totally agree. Yeah, yeah. I think we still have some misunderstanding between some groups when it goes into direction of security and so on. But um, I now understand the process, and I would say like everything you showed, Andrew, I totally agree on, and it makes totally sense to me. Yeah,
Same.
that's great. And that makes it even easier, especially that it runs on Ubuntu latest, because that was always puzzling me a lot, how to do that, how to handle it, and things like that. That is great. Cool. Good. Yeah. Um,
So you'll follow, I think we'll wait and see if we have the DCO script from Nathan. If you want to try whatever the other script that Andrew sent you, so that
I
you
will
can
wait.
follow.
I will wait for. I mean, this is the last meeting for me
Okay.
anyway. So I have a short meeting with you afterwards,
Yeah.
but that's it. And then I will stop working. So I won't do anything today. I assume when I wake up, Nathan had answered. So
Yeah, and best case scenario, we can do this live so that we can
yeah,
really nail down this process. But yeah, I agree.
yeah, that's great. Okay, good. Yeah, I'm fine. So which means like meeting in New York, we will um, update the transfer document to make it more generic and label the hashgraph specific topics and maybe add what is missing. And then, as the next step, we will migrate or transfer the Hiero Enterprise Java really step by step by the document. And then we will see is something missing, what has happened automatically, what need to be documented, and so on. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, and so let's do that, and then later on, let's look into consolidating the guidelines into the governance. I was discussing this with Sophie, and I told her that long ago we had a plan of deprecating the Hiro repo, but she has a lot of statistics and a lot of charts that for measures that she wants to put somewhere. So I told her like, hey, you know what? Maybe the Hiro repo
Yeah,
will be
yeah,
perfect for
yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
leave the governance to all the guidelines.
Oh, I never wanted to remove that repo, right? I think it still makes sense to
Yeah,
have that as a possible, like place for things like that. But
yeah,
if something is official, and I would say the transfer document with some changes we just discussed is official, it should move to government. Yeah,
sounds good.
cool. Okay. Um, anything else, or are we done?
I think I'm good for now.
Me too.
All right. Thanks,
All
everyone.
right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Meet you soon, Hendrik.
Yeah, do you need
Uh,
like 5 minutes, Jessica, or should we
Yeah,
go?
yeah. I'll meet you in at the hour.
Yeah, okay, perfect. See you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Hendrik,
Yeah.
I think,
Hey, hey, hey. Yeah,
sorry to
I'm
Oh,
here.
interrupt.
sorry.
I'm
Hi,
here.
hi, I'm Priyanshu, and
Hey, nice to
I
meet you.
I'm from Hiero SDK, so Python SDK basically. So I contributed to that. I just share you the calendar of Nate that the person mentioned was in TSC meet last week. So yeah, you can check your Discord. That was yeah.
Okay. Yeah, nice, nice. I've seen you already in another meeting based on your avatar, the wolf in front of the moon. So great to have you in the community here. That's awesome. Thank you.
So
Do you have any questions? Anything we can help with?
no, the person the LFX person was mentioned in the last meet TSC meet now. The
Ah, you mean,
Nate.
yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Jessica,
Yeah.
the what?
I shared the calendar of that person with you, so you can book some meets or something, so everybody can join that meet.
Yeah. So the person doing the mentorship, right? What's her name, Jessica?
Nate.
Nate. So
Yeah.
so
I see him online right now in the internal Slack, so I can reach out to him and put them in contact for the mentorship
yeah.
program.
And in best case, I don't know if it will be next TSC. We will have him on the TSC to give a short introduction. And
Yes.
I would like to have it on the community call too. And for you, pre is it pre Yanju? Is it correct?
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
it's correct.
So for you, both of those calls are recorded. Do you know how to find the recording of those calls?
Yeah, I got from Jessica. So like tomorrow when I would be hosting Python hours, so like I'll be telling that also, and I have created some documents around that also. So yeah, I got to know from Jessica how to access that recordings.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
Anything else we can do for you?
No, thank you. Like that was the thing. Like you were not replying in the DM, so I just said in the meet, okay, uh, I
Oh,
reduced the chat maybe.
I have not seen it. Where was I not replying? So, first of all, sorry about that. I for sure have not seen that.
Maybe you
Uh,
got it in the friend requests. That's how I got his message as well. In the you have to accept the friend request, and maybe that's where you got it.
I send you the message request again.
let me
Sorry
let
about that.
me let me check. What's your name in
It's total mud, like total mud.
Totem? Oh
Uh,
yeah. So yeah, I haven't looked at it so far. So let me boom. Now I accepted it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did meetings all the time, so I have not seen that. And yeah, oh, those the office hours of of Nate. That's perfect. Yeah, perfect. Great. Okay. Yeah. Again, thanks to have you here, and see you in one of the next meetings then.
sure, sure.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.